May 9th, 2023, not that long ago, I did something that I was told my entire youth I should never do. I met my friends that I had only previously known from the internet, and we decided to camp in a tent on the sidewalks of Inglewood, California. So we were professional women from all over the country. We were professors, doctors, accountants, and more. And we'd all come to Inglewood for a specific purpose. We were there to visit Kia Forum, and as I was walking with them across the Kia Forum in the middle of the night, so it was midnight roundabouts, and I stopped for a moment to really appreciate kind of the quiet of the evening and all the hundreds of people that were there with us, sleeping in tents, all for the same reason. So we were there to see a musician from the Korean band BTS, and I was there as a member of their fandom, ARMY. If you had asked me, or told me even, I don't know, 3 years ago, that this is where I would be today, I would not have believed you. So once upon a time, I didn't fully understand these playful fandom communities. And in not understanding them, I just didn't think about them. And possibly a little bit worse, I was a little bit afraid of them. But what I found in my recent experience is that these communities are a vital resource for care, support, and community activism. And that is what I would like to talk to you about today. So I'm Dr. Kate Ringland. I am an assistant professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz in the Department of Computational Media. And what I study is the intersection of technology at the intersection of community, disability, and play. And in the past decade, I have sought to understand how communities leverage technology in playful ways to make safe community spaces. So I've worked with communities who are often misunderstood by society to their detriment. For example, I worked for a few years with a community who was based around Minecraft for autistic children. And since kind of then, I've branched out from thinking about gaming in terms of play to broadly construing play in this kind of larger umbrella sense of the word. And these communities are often portrayed negatively in news and mainstream media. This is often driven by racism, misogyny, xenophobia, and ableism. You've probably seen some of these headlines from not just about BTS, but you've probably seen things about Taylor Swift Swifties. You can probably think back all the way through history, all the way back to the Beatles. Think about Beatlemania. There are keywords here that often come up, so you think of the crazed teenage girl fan, or the kind of obsessive, or the mindless consumer. Words like toxic, rude, and scary come up often. And what I have found during my work and during my time in the ARMY community is that a lot of this is just not true. So when I got started, when I first found BTS, I stood very much outside the community of fans because of these negative perceptions that I had about them. But I had a friend who was also an academic, who also happened to be a BTS ARMY member, tell me to give them a chance. So I said, okay, I'll try it out and see how it goes. So I sent out a really tentative tweet out into the universe, and I was like, hi, I'm thinking about maybe being a part of this community, how's everyone doing? And I got flooded with replies. So I got all these messages of warm welcomes and tips and tricks on how to be in the community, how to engage with people, who to meet, who to follow, things like that. And as I spent time there, I found that it was a mix of people, really diverse set of people from all over the globe. So people of all ages, all genders, sexual orientation, race, nationality, all there together in this space, and it really felt like kind of this sense of solidarity among community members. And I didn't just feel included, I felt like I belonged there. So I want you to take a moment and think about, what are your communities that you've had in your life? What are those spaces that have been for you that have given you a sense of belonging and support and safety and care? Was it a local community group, a religious group, maybe a special interest group? BTS Army, Taylor Swift Swifties, and other playful fandoms and communities like these are not that dissimilar from these other community spaces. BTS Army is a community that shares knowledge and resources, cares for community members, and works to make the world a little bit better place. So Army have collectively donated millions of dollars to charities, and not just the large, well-known ones like UNICEF or Black Lives Matter, but also the small local funds in donating clothes and food and books and music. When I found out I was giving this talk, I actually went back to my community and was excited and sharing with them that I was giving this talk. And I asked them, if you could tell an outsider one thing that you would like them to know about BTS Army, what would you say? And these are a couple of things they told me. We inspire each other to continually grow and be the best versions of ourselves, for ourselves, and also for each other. Being with Army is an experience of collective effervescence. We are highly diverse. We are a family, and we are a force for good. And if you're feeling alone, then you won't feel alone here. So the community itself celebrates individual differences and expertise. Community members are empowered to bring their own life experiences and skills back to the community to make it a better place. People listen when you need someone to talk to. They're there to try to understand where you're coming from. They're there to offer care and services where they can. And the kind of messaging that comes from BTS Army is this. No matter what your background or your life experience is, you have an opportunity to grow and empower yourself with self-love. And bringing that together with the community to kind of make a difference in the world. And probably most importantly, you can have fun while you're doing it. So BTS Army is a powerful example of ways in which positive change can be affected by a passionate, driven community experience. It's really easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless in the face of global issues. But recognizing our own strengths and being able to pull those together with a community has the opportunity to make really meaningful, lasting change. You might not have ever considered joining BTS Army, and you might already be Army, I don't know, hi. Army. You might not know anything at all about BTS. All of that is fine. My challenge to you is this. Don't be dismissive of these playful communities. Take them and the people in them seriously. To do otherwise is to create an environment that is harmful for these communities, harmful for the people in them, but also harmful for growth and progress for all of us. Instead of fearing what we don't know, we should come together and find out more, kind of as a team. 3 years ago, at the start of the pandemic, I was lost. I was desperate for employment. I had to move my family across the country in the middle of a lockdown in order to access affordable housing. I was emotionally, I was burnt out. I had no real sense of tie or connection to any kind of community, and the future seemed really bleak. then kind of amidst all this darkness, I found BTS, and then through BTS, I found their fandom, ARMY. And it was BTS and ARMY's support that were the catalysts that I needed to kind of pull myself up out of that dark place and have a little bit of hope for the future again. So back to that late May night in the Kia Forum parking lot, I felt something that I hadn't felt for a long time. I felt the warmth and safety of a community that might look a little bit different from what you are used to, but still at its core has this immutable sense of connectedness and togetherness. And that togetherness is fueled by a passion for music, a love of poetry, and a shared understanding of what it means to be a good human in this world. Imagine if I had let my fears and misperceptions about BTS and ARMY keep me away. I would have missed out on that care and that love and that uncompromised joy. Be open to new opportunities. People might just surprise you, and you might just decide to join them. So let us make the most of our shared journey here and create a more caring future together.